the chapter known as the Bee, where the verse says that whoever does good deeds, whether male or female, and is a believer, we will bring them to life in a good life. And it literally says hayatan tayyiba, like a good life. But it's God who is bringing that life about. Kierkegaard's idea that you have to at least establish one true love. You have to really understand. Hence, the relationship between man and woman was so central to these religious teachings, certainly in the Abrahamic faith. I mean, I know Christianity has an ideal of, for at least the priests and the cardinals and things, an ideal of celibacy, complete and utter dedication to God. But still it acknowledges the sacrament of marriage, this idea that this relationship of really unconditional love at best, when it's truly a relationship, that is how we're informed of love and understanding love. And that's why love is so central to the religious teachings. I mean, there's a lot of people that criticize Islam as not, I've seen this in many Christian books, that it's not a love-based religion. But the reality of it is love was always identified as the highest ideal in the Islamic tradition. There were certain theologians that said you couldn't really love God because God is not of our species, and you could only truly love your own species. Traditionally, the Sufis used the divine essence in Arabic. That is a feminine word, and so they used the feminine as an expression in their poetry. And what they called Layla and Selma, they used it as expression because that erotic love, that intense desire. I mean, one of the motifs that's really nice, I saw last night in the church that we were at, one of the motifs in churches and mosques, and this is very intriguing, is the vine. And the vine, in traditional cosmology, the vine is the only willful plant. It has a type of will, but it's also got this. The word in Arabic for erotic love is the same word for the binding of the vine. And so this idea of just falling in love with God. And I think in a true relationship, for instance, the relationship between a meaningful relationship with a man and a wife, the deepest pleasure is pleasuring the other. I mean, there's an incredible, and I think that's true. I have to believe that that's true in all deeply intimate relations. The desire to give the other, the gift of pleasuring the other.
So unity of meaning and pleasure is in love. Right?
I think it is, and I think that, and this is why there's a beautiful verse in the Quran. It's actually several times. It's a very common that God is pleased with them and they are pleased with God. That this mutuality of pleasure, this idea, we in our theology, there's a chapter Taftazani has. Does God experience joy? Right?
And does God?
Yes, absolutely. One of the attributes of God in our tradition is laughter. It's not taken literally, but
God's love.
But there are hadiths of the Prophet where it says, "Your Lord laughs." Dahika rabbuka. For instance, there's a hadith that says, a saying of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it says that God laughs at a man who is woken up for his dawn prayer by his wife. And what they say in the commentary is that he's pleased with that it brings him joy to see that. These three great virtues that I think all our traditions share of truth, goodness, and beauty. And for us, it's Iman, Islam, Ihsan. Iman is the truth of God, that we are knowers by nature. In our triune nature, we're knowers and we're doers. We will things, but we're also makers. We produce things with our knowledge and our will, and we're meant to know the truth. We're meant to do the good, and we're meant to make the beautiful, to produce the beautiful.